correctly, I realised that I've skipped a big section of me gluing the parts together and showing the finished main black piece done. I wouldn't really worry about that, there's nothing hugely important about it. You'll see more of the shape when the purple's on it anyway, like that. This little black thing isn't a bee, by the way. I thought it was originally. It's the cap for the super glue. I'm using contact adhesive, letting it dry a tiny bit so it becomes tacky, and then quickly putting everything on because it instantly bonds. You don't have to worry about it falling apart. That super glue there is for the Gravity Falls journals. You can see one's on top getting nearly done, the other two are done underneath. So, yeah. You've missed a little bit, but not a whole lot. I've left the back open so you can still see inside. So you can see that little glue seam running around there. That's because this curved piece is a whole different section and it's not just heat bent. I wanted you guys to see that before I started gluing everything together. These are the weird panels. Like, they're not panels on the actual thing. The lines are engraved, I think. But it's really difficult to get that design without having rounded edges, because the only way I would have been able to do that is with the Dremel, and mine tends to grip a bit because it's the actual power Dremel, not the art kind of one, so it'll just tear straight through the foam, and my soldering iron will melt a rounded curve to it, which I don't want. I want it to be a straight edge. So I drew out the plans. I put this flat on a bit of paper, because it's A4 size, literally it's perfect A4. And I drew the outline. Thank you for that. Oh well, anyway, I drew the outline and then drew the pattern that I thought I would need. This little curved piece wasn't on. You can see the line from where I've added the two sections together. This one has it on the other side. So I did that, and for the circle in the middle I actually used this piece. Although it's become a little rougher, so I will be using this to create the actual shape in the middle anyway, and then I will use a soldering iron to cut the shape in the middle for the power stone. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know that this is all the pieces. There's the ends there, and they connect there. So I'm going to glue it all together, and I'll show you the finished product before I paint it. The pole's been painted now, in fact I'll show you that I've painted it. So here's the painted pole. I've used this gunmetal. In fact, where is it? There it is. Once again, using Rust-Oleum. This was like £7.50 from a DIY shop in town, and the PVC pipe was about £2–3, and this also allowed me to make Stormbreaker as well as creating this piece. So it's quite big. Hello. So yeah, it's about 5 foot, maybe 4.5. It's not exactly sure, it should be the right size. So I'll go show you what that should look like eventually when it's all put together. Pretty cool looking shadow. Okay, so I've just finished all the purple features on it, or for the front and sides anyway. I might in fact just glue it in the back now. Like, oops, just secure it there, because once I've put this whole back section on and covered this edge, I won't be able to access this anymore, and making it secure would be quite difficult. And I'm quite happy with the way it looks so far. This is so difficult to get a good photo because of how long the stand is, or arm, or handle, staff, I don't know. It's a weird thing, really, but yeah. It should be quite good when it's done. And then I've got to put the stone in there after making the disc. So I'll make the disc and then I'll roughly draw around it, use soldering iron and probably melt its shape in and then stick it in. But have it so that you can take it out in case you need to change batteries. But yeah, this is going to be quite fun. So I'm going to do this bottom piece down here, glue it down, and then redo the whole. Okay, so the acoustics for this room are not the best. Let's just see if I can get a better shot of this. See, my camera changes when I hit record. But I'm about to remove everything in the room so you can see a better view of this. So, it's quite big. I've painted one side, the other side's undone. Just so I can show you the pattern that runs all the way through it. That's dry already. So yeah. It's turning out quite well at the moment. That hole in the side was just like a prototype where the stone was going to go. The one that was sent by Soul Inertia, because as I said, this is our collaboration kind of thing. This isn't glued on. I've just put it on top because at some point I might go and try and put indents in this if I figure out a way how, because right now I don't know. But yeah, I also need to add the little cone kind of thing that's on the bottom of that, because there's a weird point on the bottom, so I'll try and find a way to add that. But so far, I am very pleased with it. Like, it's pretty accurate. The only thing is, I don't know if you can see that because I can't tell what's in frame with how big the shot is. There's like a bit of a difference in the width of this. Like, it's wider as it goes around until the back where it's quite wide. That's purely because that's the only way I could do it. Oh, there's going to be so many upvotes for a comment saying, oh, well, you could have measured. Yeah, I'm not measuring a craft. I'm out of school, I'm not doing maths. So, yeah, I'm really proud of the way this is going so far. I'm currently talking to Soul Inertia, and we're trying to work out the best way to do Loki's scepter. So, the odds of us doing that in the future are quite high at the moment. It's just a case of working out how to put the yellow stone inside of the blue glowing orb. So, the rest I've worked out. I can make the rest of it really easily. I can use all the materials I've got. The only thing I need to get is PVC pipe. All the rest I have lying around my house, strangely enough, except for the Mind Stone. That I don't have yet. So yeah, I'm going to finish painting this. I'll add the little disc and the place for the stone to sit. Then I'll get around to doing the cone at the bottom, and it should be all done. So this is the hammer basically finished. If I do complete like the bottom of it, I might do that in a separate video. It depends on whether I work out how to do it before the end of this video, because I'll be uploading this in 2 or 3 days time, and if I found a way to do it before then, I'll do it in this video. But anyway, these parts here, it looks like I've done a lot of work. It's really not. They're 3 layers of EVA, like 0.1 1mm craft foam. So yeah, I just cut out 3 different, like just slightly different size circles and layered them together, and then for the other side I went and burnt a hole into it using an electric soldering iron, and that was done really simply. I quickly outlined the stone on that foam, drilled the hole through it, and then painted it. So now it works pretty perfectly, and the stone fits inside. I may go and do some nice light paint job around here for the glowing effects. It stays in quite solidly, so I'll get back to you when I've done the point on the bottom, because I can't do these indents because it's too big of a pole and I don't have a heat gun. So this is the answer to my problem, and this is what's going to make the cone at the bottom of Ronan's hammer. The handle is completely damaged, but I can fix that with some 1mm EVA craft foam, and that should make a nice thud when I stand it up on the ground. But anyway, this is the cone for the bottom. If you're looking for something like this, you can get it in a thrift store or a second-hand shop or a charity shop. It's the middle handle of a fishing rod, and now the rest of the handle would come out this way, and the actual rod with all the line and eyes would go that way. So you can see where it was cut My uncle did a really good job of cutting all the edges for me. I'm going to wrap this in EVA foam, paint it, and then glue it on. Or I'll glue it on and then paint it. So yeah, I'll show you once I've wrapped it in foam. Okay, so the foam is on. It's not perfect, you can see all the seams and everything. And I've then covered the seams with masking tape. For a few reasons, I kind of messed up the gluing section because all the glue burst outside. And then I sanded it down and re-added this. It's more visible on camera, you can't really see it apart from that, but this here is the foam, and then these little cracking lines are where it changes into PVC pipe. And through those crack lines on the underside there's a load of glue mess. This is much neater than what it was. Oh. Try not to knock it over. So yeah, this is the project finished now though, and it's still kind of sharp on the bottom. So overall, really happy with this piece. It's turned out so nicely, it's turned out better than I expected it to, and I've really enjoyed making it. It's surprisingly sturdy, and the paint turned out very even. And the stone looks really good sat where it is. So yeah, very happy with this piece. I might fix this at some point, this little crack here. But yeah, there's Ronan's hammer finished, and now to work on Loki's scepter with this thing.